Sibling relationships, they can influence our lives well into adulthood, and family roles that we take on as children, oftentimes it sticks with us through the years, especially if we're not always aware of it.
Yeah, so recently the idea of eldest daughter syndrome has caught fire in online forums, and while it's not a diagnosis, it does seem to hold water as a theory about the way many of the eldest daughters see their role in the family. So here to discuss what this means for us is relationship guru Dr. Kirsten Lind Seal, as well as eldest daughter Heather
Number
Brown.
one.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes.
Walk us through, what is eldest daughter syndrome?
So basically, eldest daughter syndrome just refers to the emotional burden that eldest daughters tend to take on in families from a young age. That's pretty much the nuts and bolts of it.
I
Does
get
that
it.
resonate
Trust
with
me.
you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. But I don't know that I necessarily see that as like a bad thing.
Right. So here's the interesting part. Like everything, there is a good part and a bad part. So I'll go through some of the list of, there are many different characteristics, but I'll tell you the five that I think are really, really relevant. So the first one is you feel an overwhelming sense of responsibility. Eldest daughters tend to be overachievers and they feel really driven. You have a tendency to worry a lot. You struggle with boundaries, sort of saying no, and people pleasing. Here's number 5 is you feel guilty much of the time and are resentful of your siblings. So basically this is like, there are a lot of good things about it and it can feel really rewarding to feel responsible. But as you can see, it can tip into not being so positive.
Heather, why are you laughing right now? Like, okay, Heather just like did a full, like I'm watching your reaction. Do you identify every single one? Really?
Yes.
You identify with every single one. Okay, so how do you change that? Can you change that at all?
Yes. Well, yes, you can change it. The thing to remember is that, once we hit adulthood, these roles have been sort of like the neural pathways, the habits that we've formed, sort of taking on these roles are pretty well grooved. And so it will take time and it will take some energy and effort. I think the first and most important thing is for an eldest daughter, maybe like pointing to Heather's reaction, right, is for the eldest daughter to understand that this is something that's going on. Because people can sometimes feel like, well, I do all this stuff and but why am I so resentful? If you understand that how much you're taking on is connected to how much resentment you feel, then you can start figuring out how to try to balance those things more. Because I think that almost all of us really would prefer to have good and positive relationships with our siblings, as opposed to being irritated and resentful of them all the time, plus feeling like we're maybe never doing enough, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and in my sister's defenses, they do a lot as well, too. But I can understand how that would absolutely happen, is if you're the one that feels like, especially, let's say, if you're taking care of a parent and you're the one that's closest to the parent, like how that might feel like, hey, you got to hold up your end of the bargain.
Exactly. That's exactly right. So, I would say the next step after becoming aware of this issue is having conversations about it, right? So communicating to other family members that you're noticing that this is a pattern, and first asking, what do they think? Do they also see that? I have 2 younger brothers, right? So, and they are totally, they tease me about, needing to be in control and all of this. And again, having some more of the control can also feel very rewarding. So there's that positive, thing we get. And sometimes if it's feeling like too much, I will say to them, here's where I'm irritated at you guys. Can you step up and do X or do Y? And so, but my poor brothers, they have a family therapist as a sister, right? So they're
right.
It's communication all the time.
Not really fair for them. I am noticing one thing that you are not saying, though, and you were not talking about eldest son syndrome.
Right.
This is not about me. It's not about me. I don't know why we're bringing me into this. This is not about me at all.
The interesting thing is that even though it's called eldest daughter syndrome, and again, this isn't a diagnosis, there's no real research behind this, but there is a lot of research behind what we call parentified children. And those are children who have to take on an adult role early on in life, usually due to alcohol or substance abuse with the parents, or severe mental illness, or some other kind of illness that makes the child, sort of pushes the child into more of a caretaking role. So there is a lot of research on parentified children. But this eldest daughter syndrome, in that way that online stuff catches catches fire. What I would say is sometimes the eldest daughter is not necessarily a woman, right? Sometimes the eldest daughter could be an eldest son, but the idea behind the syndrome is sort of taking more than your share of the family responsibility and all the consequences that flow from that. Not reaching out, like that's a way to change it. Reach out. Maybe you do need a little bit of family therapy, or maybe there's a clergy person you can go and unburden yourself to. Sure. Maybe trusted friends, right? But this idea of engaging more social support, that would be sort of my real action step for eldest daughters who are struggling with feeling kind of overburdened and overwhelmed and sort of irritated and angry. Find yourself some support, have the communication.
Thanks as always. We appreciate the great conversation today, Kirsten. We'll see you next time.